everybody, it's Lon.TV, and we are taking a look today at the low end of the all-in-one printer market with the Canon MX472. This is about $100 or maybe 2 supplies of ink. So as you know, these things really are subsidized on their ink cost. But it's got a fax modem on board, 33.6, so you're able to send faxes from it the old-fashioned way. You can also scan documents to your computer. It's got an auto document feeder on the top, and then you can lift this up and you've got a flatbed scanner beneath it, so pretty flexible there. It is color inkjet. It has 2 ink cartridges though, so 3 of the colors are on a single cartridge. So you're going to need to, if you lose one of the colors, you're going to have to replace the other 2, even if they're not dead yet. It also has a separate black cartridge as well. And those cartridges cost about $40 to $50 to replace the set. And you get, a couple hundred pages depending on coverage. The one thing I don't like about the printer is the fact that when you load paper in, it's not the smallest unit in the world. As you can see on my desk here, it is pretty bulky. And when you want to load paper in it, you actually have to pull this down and load the paper in from the front like this. So you end up losing even more space because this door has to remain down in order for it to print at any time. And what's odd is that on the back, there's a lot of space underneath the printer. And granted, you can get in there to unclog stuff, but you think they could have, maybe this is like a chassis that they use on their more expensive printers that have a tray or something. So you do give up a little bit of space, especially if you want the printer to be available to you at all times. The control panel on the front, if I'm going to switch over to my other little camera here, my handheld camera, so you can get a better sense as to what that looks like. The control panel on the front has some basic controls. It doesn't have like a touchscreen or anything, but you have buttons to specify the mode that you wish to go into. So we're going to make a quick copy, so I'm going to push the copy button. There is a onboard display here. It's very hard to see sometimes because it's not backlit. But it is enough to get what you need out of it. You got your dial pad here for sending faxes, and then you can specify the mode that you wish to go into. So we're just going to do a quick color copy real quick, and you can basically get a feel for the scan speed, because once it starts scanning a copy, it scans pretty much at the same speed I found it scans with a computer. So there you can see that going. And out comes our paper, and it does a nice job. I mean, these printers have been around for so long that they've really, there's not much more to say about print quality. The fact is, you're not going to be printing photos out of this, but you are going to get a nice quality image. And on this copy here, it looks very similar to the original, so it's going to do a nice job with that as well. So it does its job, and it works okay in that regard, and it's it's a printer. And what more can you say about that? The printer also supports printing via AirPrint, so if you have an iPad or an iPhone, you can pretty much just hit your little upload button there, go to print, and select the printer over your network, and it will spit out a document really quickly too. So again, it works pretty much like most printers do these days. It also it collates for you also, so it prints the last page first. So you can see it prints pretty fast, especially when you just have black on the page. Color documents and things with a little bit more detail do take a little bit longer, but in a small office environment, this is certainly more than adequate. It also works with the Google ecosystem, so the Google Cloud Print and all that stuff will work as well. Scanning, you need to be plugged into a computer, although on the Mac you can connect to it wirelessly via the image capture component, which is built into OS X. So what do I think of it? Well, it's a printer. It's a $100 printer, and it does everything you'd expect it to do. Really, these things are vehicles to drive ink sales, and I did a little bit of an analysis, compared it to the HP and to the Epson. It costs about the same to operate ink-wise as it does on those other printers, about $40 to $50 to replace the set of inks. So that's pretty much what you get. Pages, as far as the number of pages you get out, it depends on your coverage, and every page has different coverage. If you're using a lot of ink, you're going to get a lot less pages out of it than you would if you just have a little bit of coverage, maybe just some text or something like that. So it's really hard to say how it compares to the other printers. I haven't run it long enough to really get a feel for that. But my preference now has been leaning more towards laser printers in small office environments, mainly because I don't print all that often, and when I do, my printer is often going through that cleaning function and actually draining more ink in the process, or the heads get clogged and you have to kind of deal with that. So they are good if you're going to be using them often, but if you're not printing all that much, I would actually spring a little bit and get a laser printer for just a little bit more money, but you'll have be able to print less frequently and not have to give up a lot of ink in the cleaning process. But I think if you're looking for an inexpensive printer, this one certainly is just fine. Canon, Epson, and HP all make excellent products, and this is certainly a good one. This is Lon.TV. Thanks for watching.